Hey everyone, it's Yudia. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give you an update of how my first chemotherapy with Taxol went yesterday. Check out these clips that I actually took live yesterday, and then I will come back on and explain in more detail how the day went. Hey everyone, it's Yudia. I am on my way to my first of 12 chemo with Taxol. I'm just stopping over to get some ice so we could keep the ice packs cool in the car because I will need gloves and socks that have ice packs in them to prevent me from having peripheral neuropathy, or basically numbness and tingling in my legs, in my feet and fingers, which is a common side effect of Taxol that can be permanent. So we want to prevent that. So yes, that's where I'm at today, right now, and then we'll drive to the appointment, the infusion, in a few minutes, and I will take a video as well and show you when I actually put on the ice packs and the gloves for my feet and my hands, so you have an idea of what they look like. But so far I'm feeling good. My lab work yesterday looked pretty good. My hemoglobin is still in a downward trend, but I'm not feeling the shortness of breath or the fatigue as much, which I'm super happy about. And I'm really hopeful that this time isn't gonna be as difficult as the first 4 with the Red Devil. I took pre-medication, so they gave me a few meds that I need to take to prevent allergic reaction or infusion reaction to Taxol. And I think because that's another thing that is common with Taxol is infusion site reactions or infusion reactions. So they don't want that. That's not a good thing. But otherwise, I am happy that it's Friday, and I can't say I'm looking forward to chemo, but I'm looking forward to it being a good weekend and that I'm not going to be wiped out by the chemo today. All right, I'll talk to you in a bit.
Round part down or round part
Round part down. Thank you.
Can you see your arm down? Tell us your name and your birthday. Come up there. I think they're not going anywhere as long as you're sitting there.
Over an hour. First dose, so we'll do 50 for 12.5. And I'll fast print it. Yes, I am. Do you see your name here?
Yeah.
And this is your Taxol, okay?
Yes. Thank you. Should the ice be on the top part of my hand?
On the palms.
On the palm. I know. Hey. You like the lobster? Okay, I'm back. So after I put on the ice packs on my hands and my feet, they started the Taxol infusion. And because it's my first time, they wanted to do the first 15 minutes at a slow rate. So they don't want the drugs to come into my system at the normal rate. Because the first 15 minutes is usually when infusion reactions happen. And some of the common infusion reactions that they informed me about is, and to let them know immediately if I experience any of it, is if my face feels flushed, like suddenly hot, um, if I feel itchy, rash, shortness of breath, or low back pain was one of the common infusion reactions that that usually happen in the first 15 minutes. And if that happens, I need to let them know. They will then stop the infusion and then give me some pre-medications or medications to help um, counteract the allergic reaction, and then they will restart, and they will restart the infusion at a slower rate. So what happened with me, after the first 15 minutes, I felt fine. So they increased the rate to the normal rate, which would be, I don't know exactly what, but it would last about an hour. So I had 45 minutes more of the infusion at the regular rate to go through. So here I am. It's kind of boring, honestly, because um, my hands were in those gloves, mittens, ice pack mittens, so I can't really get on my phone and do anything. Um, but in any case, time flew by fast, and I only had 15 minutes left of the infusion, and I needed to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom, came back, and restarted the infusion. And for some reason, I suddenly had acute lower abdominal pain, kind of like women, you would know how this feels, like menstrual cramps, but I wasn't on my period or anything, and it just felt really uncomfortable and came on suddenly. And I was starting to have shortness of breath, like I started coughing because I felt I couldn't breathe as well. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it just was uncomfortable and my throat started getting scratchy. So I informed the infusion nurse, and so she stopped the infusion. I had 15 minutes left to go. She stopped the infusion, called the doctor. So the lower abdominal pain is rare. Like, that's not something that usually happens. So the infusion nurse contacted the oncologist to see, what she should do. And what they ended up giving me as pre-meds is Benadryl, IV Benadryl, and IV Pepsid. Now, so they checked the vitals, and my vitals are typically within the 90s. So when they checked it, it was actually like 114 over, I don't know, 50 something. And that's probably a little bit, not as normal, but a little bit higher than I usually have it because of my abdominal discomfort, my lower stomach discomfort. So right before they give Benadryl, they checked again and I was at 92 over 57 or something, which is normal. However, she said Benadryl will probably bring that a little lower, which will put me in the 80s at the systolic and I'm very scientific right now, I know, guys. Um, but in any rate, once they put the Benadryl in, I immediately was, I mean, you saw the video, I was, energetic and fine. Immediately when they put the Benadryl in, I was like, I dropped. Like, I could not open my eyes. I felt like I was about to pass out. Luckily, I was in the infusion chair. So, but I felt lightheaded. I couldn't open my eyes at all. Could barely talk. And I was just like, I think I'm about to pass out. Check my blood pressure. It's really low. Um, And so, but they're like, that's typical with the Benadryl, dizziness, lightheaded. So I'm glad I was sitting, y'all, to be honest. I was sitting in the infusion chair, so I just let it ride. And they also gave me the Pepsid in IV infusion. And so after about 30 minutes of waiting for those pre-meds to kick in, um, my abdominal pain subsided, so I did not have any more pain. Um, I was still really weak, though. I think, yeah, Benadryl, drowsy, um, and was a little bit dizzy. But anyways, and then they restarted the 15-minute, the remainder of the chemo of Taxol, but at a slower rate, so half the rate. So instead of being finished in 15 minutes, it ended up taking 30 minutes for me to finish the rest of the chemotherapy infusion. And it was fine. I didn't have any more side effects in terms of like um, shortness of breath or anything crazy. I think the meds worked. My stomach pain didn't come back. And so they discharged me, so I was able to go home. I was really loopy. You could ask David. I was walking like a drunk, like I um but made it to the car, sleepy in the car. I came home and ate lunch. So my appointment was at 11:15 and I did not get out until close to 2 until 2:30, no, until 3, and then I got home at 3:30, had lunch, and then just went straight to bed. And I took a nap from 3:30 to about 6:30. So it's a pretty good, decent nap. And then I, yeah, and I got up. After I got up, I felt 100% better. I think once the Benadryl got out of my system, I wasn't that fatigued at all, and was able to go about the day. Had dinner and just relaxed with the fam bam. And then the problem is though at night. So I don't know if I've mentioned it previously. I've been starting to have hot flashes. I think I did mention that in the clip that I took yesterday. And that I talked to infusion nurse about that, and she said that's normal from the chemotherapy, probably changing up and confusing my hormones. Um, but I've also, and last night I experienced this, and it's been really difficult to sleep at night. Just like this restless leg syndrome type thing where I just keep kicking and tossing and turning. So I could, yeah, I don't think my sleep quality is the greatest these last couple days, especially last night. However, I was able to wake up at 6 o'clock today, took a shower, and then took care of like just had energy to do things today. So I'm thankful for that. Part of it is able to like while I have energy, I might as well be on this video and update you guys. So we'll see how long I last today. I might need a nap, but I'm happy to say I'm not wiped out. Day 2 post Taxol chemotherapy. How even though the day of infusion itself was a bit rough. But anyways, that's all I had in terms of chemo updates. I will update you again next week when I have my second dose of Taxol at this first round. So each round of Taxol, so I'm at cycle 5 right now, is once a week for 3 weeks. So yesterday was cycle 1, day 1. Next Friday will be cycle 5, because it's continuing from my adriamycin stuff. So my last adriamycin cyclophosphamide was cycle 4. So they consider this is my cycle 5 of chemotherapy, but with a different agent, which is Taxol. So it's cycle 5, day 1 yesterday. Next Friday would be cycle 5, day 8. And then the following Friday would be cycle 5, day 15, which would be the 3 weekly treatments for cycle 5. And then it'll go on to cycle 6, day 1, 8, and then 15, 7, day 1, 8, 15, and then 8, day 1, 8, 15. So that'll a total of 12 weeks is how they, name the chemotherapy schedule. Anyways, thank you all so much for your prayers, your encouraging words and support. And I actually have some updates on my bullet journal that I want to share. I've done things a little bit differently recently, but I might as well talk about that on a separate video so it's not confusing. But I'm super excited that I'm having a lot more energy and hopefully it continues. All right, bye everyone.